Your Las Vegas Raiders currently sit at 9-2 with a 2-game lead over the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC West. However, them Chiefs just absolutely humiliated the Raiders in the last episode, and due to Coach Jim Caldwell talking some smack, we are down negative 40 morale for every player. And then to top it off, that made every player negative in morale. So even though we're having a great season, we have a lot to come back from. In this episode, we're going to take on 3 opponents. We're going to showcase the Miami Dolphins, who are currently the number 3 seed in the AFC playoffs as we sit at the number 1 seed. But we're going to take on the 4-7 Denver Broncos first, and then the Cleveland Browns. If those are close games, we're going to show them off. Let's get into this one. We have a low-scoring contest here as we jump in against the Denver Broncos. It's going to be 14-12 here to begin the fourth quarter. We're going to see if we can take the lead on this drive as we go to Davante Adams, who makes a man miss. He is going to keep fighting. That's a big gain to start this one off. The Raiders have leaned into their ground game quite a bit in this one. After Justin Simmons picked us off 4 times in our game earlier this year, we decided to come in with a conservative game plan, and it's kind of backfired, but it's also worked in a way. It's kept the game close, kept turnovers down as well, which is a good thing because that's what killed us in the last game. We managed to win, but it was a high-scoring shootout that never should have been as close as it was. That was a risky throw there. I don't know what it is about Hobbs against the Raiders, but he struggles as we're going to go to Davante again, who beats his man. That's a first down. He's been on the struggle bus today as it's Quantel getting to the edge, getting around Singleton, and finding a big gain all the way down to the 14-yard line. Ramondre Stevenson checks into the game, and we're actually going to play action it and go to the corner of the end zone. Michael Mayer, and that's swatted away. Pat Surtain in coverage. Ramondre remains in the game as he gets the carry here, and that's a 4-yard pickup. It's going to be 3rd and 6 here. If we don't convert, we're okay. We'll take the 3 and take the lead, but that's Ray Hobbs getting into the end zone. Touchdown, Raiders. They take the lead. Jack Garola and the Denver Broncos take over, trailing 19-14 now. We need this Raiders defense to step up and stop them. They've played really well today, and they've bottled up the ground game. As you can see, Williams only has 28 yards on the ground. If you didn't watch the Coach KJ Dynasty, that's where he came from. He was our guy for the Florida Gators. He was a first-round draft pick that we passed on because he was rated low, and he has been pretty good this year as he takes a sack. That's Max Crosby ending this drive. Big 3rd and 6 here for Ray Hobbs and the Raiders. He's actually just going to step up the run, and he couldn't get away in time. I thought he could. That's Zach Allen getting the tackle. We're going to have to punt the ball back to the Broncos. Broncos got to go 78 yards in 3 minutes and 26 seconds. That's easily doable. If we get a stop, though, they're going to be in tough situation as that's a drop. Nate Hobbs should have sealed this one. This Broncos offense is struggling as Garola's feeling pressure up the middle on the move, and down he goes. Akeem Davis, Gaither, and Sandley West combine to get the sack. West has been pretty good filling in for the injured Tyree Wilson. I got to give him credit. We take over in good field position here. We just need probably 2 first downs to seal this game as that run doesn't work. Taylor Rapp made the play. Coming out of the 2-minute warning, we need 1 first down to seal this game off. We're going to throw it quick out there to Davante Adams, who makes a man miss. First down, Raiders. This game's over. 2nd and 5, back to the ground game, and that's officially it. We're going to take a knee and celebrate our victory over the Broncos, improving our record to 10-2 on this season. The Raiders win this one 19-14. Like I said, it was an impressive performance on the ground. We'll get into stats and we'll show them off here. Taking a look at your Raiders, Ray Hobbs finished 14-28 for 174 yards, 1 touchdown, no picks. On the ground, Quantel had 155 yards rushing. Hobbs finished with 9 and a score. Ramondre had 3 carries but didn't do much. Greg Hardwick picked up 13 yards on a couple carries. Davante Adams had 8 for 97. Josh McCollum caught 3 for 45 and a touchdown. Other than that, we were pretty bottled up through the air. We also were pretty conservative, though. That was intentional, as Max Crosby leads us with 10 tackles, 7 for Derek Forrest, 6 for Kejuan Haas, 5 for Trayvon Merrig. Looking at TFLs, Crosby had 7, which is absolutely incredible. We had 2.5 sacks from Crosby, half a sack from West, half a sack from Cox, half a sack from Akeem Davis Gaither, and half a sack from Divine Diablo. And we had a pick by Nate Hobbs. Looking at the Broncos offense, Jack Garola finished 21-31, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he threw that costly interception. Javonte Williams, 11 carries for just 28 yards. Our run D's been incredible this year. I don't know what changed really to make it just get so much better, but we'll take it. We have been struggling, and I'm glad to finally be winning in this series. as Cole Klinger had a TFL, the first round draft pick from the Denver Broncos from this previous draft here. And obviously they had no sacks and no turnovers in this one. We have a breakout defensive lineman scenario. It looks like it's for DeMar Cox. Hopefully we can get him a TFL. That's all he needs to get him to star dev. That'd be huge for this team. Taking a quick look at the playoff picture, the Dolphins are now the 2 seed, so that important matchup is even more of a big deal. And looking at the NFC, not a whole lot of changes there. We have a couple upgrades, one for Cesar Ruiz. We're going to go into power protector and just make him a little bit better there. It gets him to an 80 overall. Next up's receiving back Greg Hardwick, and we're going to go into receiving back for him. Keep him just getting better overall. He's up to a 70 now. We're getting back to almost full strength as we're going to take on this struggling Cleveland Browns team here. We have Tyree Wilson returning. We're only missing center Isaac Baldwin now. I think this should be a pretty easy victory. The Browns look pretty dreadful, honestly. Let's get into this one. I'll show it off if we have any highlights. We dominated the Cleveland Browns here, 52-14. This game wasn't close at all. It was kind of a low-scoring affair in the first half, and then things unraveled for Deshaun Watson in the second half. Let's take a look at the stats. Your Raiders improved to 10-2 with Hobbs having a pretty good day that started off really bad. 3 touchdowns, a pick, 55% completion percentage, 260 yards. He had a rough first half, though. Quantel Johnson didn't have a good day on the ground. Greg Hardwick busted off a 60-yard run. Ray Hobbs had a decent day on the ground. It was Josh McCollum leading us with 120 receiving yards in this one. Our defense dominated, though. They stole the show. Evan Wilson had 8 tackles, 7 for Akeem Davis-Gaither. Looking at TFLs, Evan Wilson had 6, 4 for Davis Gaither, 3 for Cox, 3 for Crosby, 2 for Tyree Wilson, 1 for Jeff Okudah, 2.5 sacks from Evan Wilson, 2 for DeMar Cox, 1.5 for Akeem Davis Gaither, 1 for Wilson, 1 for Okudah, and 1 for Crosby. We had 2 picks from Hobbs and 2 picks from Forrest. This defense was absolutely incredible and shut down the Browns today. Gabriel Bowens also added a kick return touchdown in this game that went for 104 yards. That's the second one this season already, maybe even third. Taking a look at Deshaun Watson, he had a bad day. He finished 11-26, 180 yards, a touchdown, and 4 picks. He also had a fumble as well that ended up being a turnover, or 2 of them, I guess. Actually, 1 we recovered, 1 they recovered. They couldn't really do anything on the ground at all. Through the air, really nobody was effective. We dominated this team. They were terrible, and I knew they weren't going to be a good team. That's why I didn't care about showing this game off, especially since we're trying to move this series along pretty quick right now. So, you know, this matchup was fun. It was really fun to play, but not worth showing. Coming out of this one, we have an upgrade for Gabriel Bowens. And for this, we're actually going to go into playmaker because I want him to get better as a receiver, but he's such a playmaker that we need to keep him developing in that way as well. Rookie quarterback Ray Hobbs also has an upgrade, and I've been going into field general, and I think that's where we're going to go again. His overall still increases. That's a pretty solid upgrade right there. DeMar Cox hit his breakout scenario in that one, as we've seen as well. So now he has star dev and he gets 5,000 XP. That's fantastic for our young defensive tackle. We have some upgrades to take care of course. DeMar Cox, he has 1 upgrade for him. We're going to go ahead in the speed rusher, get him up to a 78 overall. Make him a better player. I want to get him to an 80 before I start developing him as a whole player. Evan Wilson also has an upgrade. We're going to go into power rusher, get him up to a 76 overall. Same idea here. Make him really good in one scenario where he's a good starter, and then from there, we'll try to balance him out. Heading into this Dolphins game, though, we are going to be missing all-pro guard Landon Dickerson. Dolphins, meanwhile, come in with a couple injuries, but nobody that I'd say is too important. We have the same record, and we currently sit as the 1 seed, so this matchup here is for the top seed in the AFC, and it's going to have a huge impact on tiebreakers later on. We need to win this one. Taking a look at this Dolphins team, they are absolutely fantastic. But, to be honest with you, not a lot's changed with them. They're pretty much the same team that we know, and kind of they play how they play in real life. They added a good young tight end. Across the O-line, they're solid, but their right tackle situation's really weak. They still have Christian Wilkins in this. They did add Zach Dickerson in the draft, and it's revealed that he had superstar dev. We might have been wrong not to be interested in him and trading back for Evan Wilson. He's really good. Jalen Phillips is an 89 overall. Jerome Baker's good. They got Josh Polowecki, who is somebody we wanted in last year's draft. He's a really good player. Overall, this team looks pretty loaded. Like I said, they're going to be a tough matchup, but we need this victory. Let's get into it. All right, guys, we're jumping in here to the Dolphins game. Tua's in the pistol. The Dolphins have been driving here. We're partway through the first quarter. That's a solid short gain there for the Dolphins. You haven't missed any scoring, so I figured I'd save a little bit of time by not showing anything off prior to this. Tua's going to be in the gun here. They've liked to run it out of this formation, and that's what they do once again, but Evan Wilson does not allow him to go anywhere. I think the Dolphins have already converted 2 or 3 third downs, so this situation doesn't feel very good as they have a lot of speed out there. We're going to get some pressure in there with Evan Wilson, and down goes Tua Tagovailoa. That's a sack. That's the second time today already he's been taken down. Max Crosby had the first one. Following a dreadful punt, the Raiders take over an excellent field position. They're going to go to Quantel Johnson on the ground. Quantel tries to juke it back inside, but that's a great carry. We're up across midfield already. Staying right with the ground game here. It's Quantel trying to get out wide, and, that play was just bottled up. Hardwick checks into the game here. Hardwick gets a carry. He is averaging 9.7 yards a carry, and he picks up 7 more there. We just might need to include him in the game plan a little bit more. He has been very good as it's 3rd and 4. Hobbs looking to pass, going underneath. Easy one, Josh McCollum. First down, Raiders. We do have a pick thrown by Hobbs that I didn't show off. I probably should have, but I felt like we needed to jump into this one a little bit prior to showing it off, so that way the episode doesn't run too long here. Hobbs on first down. Gonna pass here off of the play action. That's Michael Mayer, and he just missed him. That should have been easy. From the gun, we're gonna hand it off. It's Quantel Johnson finding first down yardage plus a few extra. That is gonna end the first quarter. Like I said, not a whole ton of action. We have 60 yards on the ground. The Dolphins haven't done too much. It hasn't been a very exciting game so far. That's not necessarily a bad thing, though, as it could be a defensive showcase, and this is what we're going to have to be able to do in the playoffs, is win the close ones. Hobbs has to play better, though. He seems to have some jitters out here or something because he's just playing his worst football of the season, possibly, as Hobbs goes wide, and that's a solid gain, 3rd and inches. We can manage that. We're going to bring Greg Hardwick into the game. Hardwick gets the carry. Hardwick, first down plus. 1st and goal here under centers. Ray Hobbs looking to pass. That's an easy one. Touchdown, Josh McCollum. Nobody even covered him. The Dolphins still have a ton of questions to answer, though, because in this series, they have been a good team. They've also run into the same problems they had in real life where they stumble in the playoffs. So I'm really curious if they can keep up this strong, positive momentum. They have a lot of the same pieces on offense with Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill. Now, they did add Devin Duvernay, who's been really good in this series for them. They actually handed him off an extension this year for like $7 or $8 million bucks. Despite the fact that they took a receiver in the first round last year, they were hoping to put in that wide receiver 3 role. We're going to fight here, and that's just an incompletion, thankfully. But we lose DeMar Cox to injury, so this is going to be a big situation here as DeMarvin Leal checks into the game. He probably won't stay in the game here at this situation, as that's an incompletion by Tua. We're going to have to address the depth chart real quick, as it's a torn labrum. Oh no, that could be a long injury for DeMar Cox, so that's disappointing. That might end his season. 2nd and 7, back to the ground game. Ramondre Stevenson finding some space. Ramondre getting the first down. 3rd and 8 now. Raiders looking to pass. They're going to go to an open Michael Mayer, first down. Keep this drive marching on. 2nd and 9, going back to the ground game. It's Greg Hardwick finding all sorts of space. Hardwick getting the edge. Hardwick, one man to beat Jalen Ramsey, and he breaks off the tackle. Touchdown, Raiders. What a carry. Hardwick's really impressing me, man. He doesn't do great under center. I've tried him there a few times. He might get more carries, though, because this kid's breaking out. 3rd and 3. I could see him running it here, but they got to be careful. Max Crosby can dominate this 66 overall right tackle, as it's a quick pass out there, and that's going to be a first down. Under center to a play action. Down he goes. Sandley West gets the sack. I decided to put him as a rush D tackle. He's a little undersized, but as a pass rusher, I want him out there. 3rd and 4 here for the Dolphins. Minute 40 left in the first half. We're trying to get some pressure in there on Tua. He feels a little bit, but it's Tyreek over the top, and he missed him. Big play for us there. They might go for it, though. 2nd down, looking to pass. Going underneath. Michael Mayer, easy completion. Oh, we didn't get out of bounds. We're going to have to burn a timeout. 2nd and long now. Hobbs looking to pass. Open. Josh McCollum beat him, and he dropped it at the end. Are you serious? 3rd down and 10 now for the Raiders, needing a big first down here. Hobbs looking to pass. Quick, underneath. Oh, that should have been picked. He sat on that perfectly. I guess I should have waited and chucked it over the top. 1st and 10 here. Dolphins have really good field position. Can they get points before the half? That's Achane bouncing off the tackle. Tua quick to the line here, lining up in the gun with Achane. We're going to get some pressure in there on him. It's a screen, and they might have a little bit of space here as he gets a solid pickup all the way down to the 32. 2nd and 10 here. Dolphins looking to pass. Right there, Nate Hobbs should have had a pick. We had a great defensive performance in the last game. I wish we could have carried that over. Which, I mean, we are playing really well here. As it's 3rd and 10, we haven't given up any points yet. But, man, a pick would have been nice, as that is just missed. Tyreek should have had a touchdown. Either way, I consider it a win to hold them to a 3-point attempt, which they probably will hit as the kick is up and right down the middle. 14-3 is going to be your halftime score. As we head into halftime, it's, like I said, 14-3. This has been a kind of a closely contested game. We're the better team, though. We've been able to run all over them. Let's get the second half underway as A.J. Cole boots it down there. It's going to just be a touchback. The computer never takes these out. In the gun, 3rd and 5. Tua looking to pass. Open receiver, and that's an easy completion. I'm surprised he held on to that. So I was wrong about the Max Crosby thing. He's actually taken on Cam Robinson. They signed him and moved him over to right tackle. I did not realize he was on this team and listed. It was Dalvin Gary before, so I don't know if he was a free agent that they picked up. Either way, that's a big pickup for the Dolphins. 3rd and 2 here for the Dolphins. I wouldn't be shocked if they try to run the ball here. I'm wrong. They're passing. That's a quick one out there. Tyreek Hill with some space. He was covered by a linebacker. That's never going to work. 2nd and 2. You're going to see the rest of this drive as they're in the red zone. That's a handoff to Achane. Achane cannot get past Morig, who cuts him down, or Merrig. Tua in the gun here. 1st down. We're sending pressure at him, and it does not work. That's Britton getting the nice reception. Apparently, they wanted to make me look foolish by getting him involved now as Tua's going to pass out to the flats. That's Achane one-on-one. Are you kidding me, Malik Harrison? That's a touchdown for the Dolphins. That was a poor tackle attempt. Honestly, we need to get stronger in our linebacking core. The Dolphins have surprisingly decided to go for 2 here. I get it, but I did not expect it. So let's see what we can do as it's going to be play action, and we get no pressure in there. That's an easy conversion. There's a flag. Maybe it's holding. That'd be nice.
Illegal touching. Offense.
Illegal touching? That's awesome. I'll accept that. No 2 points. That's a failed attempt. It's 14-9 Raiders. We got to lean back into the ground game as we start off this drive with Quantel Johnson getting caught up on Cesar Ruiz. That should have been a big play. Quick pass out there. That's Devontae Adams one-on-one, making a man miss. Devontae all sorts of space. Big 1st down, Raiders. 3rd and 1 for the Raiders. We have Ramondre Stevenson in the game. He gets the carry as that was a read option, and that's a nice one. 1st down. Keep this drive going. We got to shorten this game up, keep control of the ball, and that'll help us close this one out as that's a solid carry by Quantel. 2nd and 3. Back to the ground game. Quantel Johnson gets outside. Quantel Johnson cannot outrun Jerome Baker, but that's a huge play all the way down to the 13-yard line. Getting a breather after that big play. It's Ramondre Stevenson stepping in. Ramondre finding some space. 2nd down. We'll take that. 2nd and 4. Hobbs in the gun looking to pass underneath, and he can't get the pass out in time. That's a sack. Zach Sealer. 3rd and 10 now from the 13-yard line. Hobbs is going to pass, and that's swatted away. Bad decision. We didn't have anything open there. Let's take our 3 here and make this a 17-9 ball game. That gives us an 8-point advantage. Still only a 1-score game. That's going to be the end of the 3rd quarter. It's 17-9 as we know. The Dolphins' passing attacks come to life. Luckily for us, though, our ground attack's been amazing. 3rd down and 6, and there's movement. That's going to back up the Dolphins. I think that was Cam Robinson who was guilty of that one. It's going to make it 3rd and 11 now. Tua by himself, looking to pass. Dolphins cannot get open. That's a sack. Sandley West gets in there. Conversion there to Parham. I wasn't talking. Sorry, I zoned out there. 3rd and 12 here for the Raiders. Looking to pass. Michael Mayer. And what was that? That was definitely poor accuracy. Come on, Hobbs. He's played awful today. Dolphins down by 8. Take over here on this drive. It's going to be play action. And Tua taking a shot. That's Tyreek Hill coming open. That wasn't a good throw. Tua has not played well today. We're going to adjust real quick. We're going to go to some zone coverage. Tua stops, pops, and that's an easy completion. Are you kidding me? Jalen Waddle that time. What a play by Tua. I have no idea that – I don't think they're going to run it here. And I'm wrong. They actually do hand it off. We're not in a great situation to stop that as we end up doing it. It's 4th and 3. I wonder if they go for it or just settle for 3. I can't blame them for going for it here. It's 4th down and 3. Tua in the gun looking to pass. No pressure, gets in there. Barrett comes open. First down, Dolphins. Tua passing again here, and he has an open receiver. That's Britton all the way down to the 2-yard line. 1st and goal, Dolphins. I wonder why they don't feature him more in this offense. He seems to be pretty good alongside these guys as Tua's going to tuck and run. Big shot, Amari Burney. Ball comes out, recovered by Max Crosby. Dolphins screw this up and put the ball in Tua's hands, and he couldn't handle it. What a play by Amari Burney. Man, that was a big hit right at the goal line to knock that out. What a play. Now we're backed up, and I'll be honest, I'm going to one of my favorite plays for this situation. It's a quick pass out there. It just gets us a few yards as he actually breaks the tackle. Oh, I thought he was going to get back inside. Big first down there. We're away from the goal line. Now we can start chewing clock. Big 3rd and 8 here for the Raiders. They haven't had a lot of success passing it, but that's what we're going to do here. Try to get the first down as Hobbs is actually just going to step up and run. Ray Hobbs with all sorts of space. Ooh, I tried to slide. We couldn't, but at least he didn't fumble. That's going to take us to the 2-minute warning. We just got to get another first down and force these timeouts used by the Dolphins. Back to Quantel on the ground, and he is bottled up immediately. 2nd and 7. Let's bring Greg Hardwick into the game. He's been great for us, and he's bottled up. 3rd and 5. Dolphins have 1 timeout left. We need a first down. Ray Hobbs looking to pass. That's an easy one. Michael Mayer down the seam. First down, Raiders. They should be able to close this one out now. That's it right here. We're going to take a knee. We brought Russell Wilson in. Not to hurt Hobbs' stats too much. We need that Rookie of the Year to get him up to an X Factor, hopefully. This felt like a playoff matchup right here. We ended up winning it 17-9. The Dolphins' offense was actually really good. They just couldn't punch it in when they needed to. Untimely turnovers, big mistakes by Tua, inaccuracy. I mean, they're a really good team, and I don't want to face them again because this was a tough matchup. Honestly, I would prefer to play them over the Chiefs, but I tell you what, all kudos to them. They played well. Looking at our passing stats, they were pretty bad in this game. Ray Hobbs went 10-22, 132 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Most of them were short passes. He didn't really do that much. On the ground, we actually were pretty impressive. We spread the ball around well. A ton of different carries for guys in here, and they had a lot of success. Devontae Adams had 3 for 46, 3 for 50 for Michael Mayer. McCollum caught 2 for 10, and he had the touchdown. Really not that impressive, like I said, through the air today. On defense, Kewan Hawes led us with 9 tackles. He had a good day. 3 TFLs for Sandley West, Evan Wilson, and Max Crosby. We'll take that. Sandley West had a sack and a half along with Evan Wilson, and then 1 by Crosby. We didn't get any turnovers today, unfortunately. Looking at Tua, like stats-wise, they look good, but it's like real-life Tua. There's just mistakes in there that cost this team, and at the end of the day, that's why they didn't win the big-time matchup. That's just what he does, and I really don't understand what it is about him, but they managed to get that into the game, and he's playing like real-life him. Javon Holland was all over the field today. He's a fantastic safety. Jerome Baker had 2 TFLs. Honestly, Christian Wilkins made an impact, but he wasn't as big of an impact as I expected. They had a pick by Xavier Howard. I didn't show that one off. It was just a stupid read on my behalf. Coming out of that game, we had an upgrade for Nick Knight, and for him, we're going to go into run stopper. I want to get his pass coverage better, but I think it makes a ton of sense just to get him to a higher overall for now. Quantel Johnson also has an upgrade, and we're going to go into power back and get him up to an 80 overall. He's been a beast this season. Between him and Hardwick, our ground game's been awesome. We found our 1-2 punch. We do suffer that injury, though, to DeMar Cox. That's going to end his regular season. Hopefully we get a first round back, and that means we'd have him back for the playoff run. We'll see. We're still without Dickerson, who missed this game with an injury. He'll be back next week, thankfully. Let's take one final look at the playoff bracket. As you can see, the Raiders are the top seed here in the AFC. That knocked the Dolphins back to the 3 seed. The Steelers move up to the 2nd seed. The Jaguars are the 4 seed, which is why we're going to show them off in our next episode. Looking at the NFC, you can see it's the Panthers, the Giants, the Seahawks, and the Packers leading their division. Honestly, that's kind of shocking. I know the Packers are a good team, but everybody else did not expect that. Next episode, my plan currently is to go right to the end of the season. Unless week 18 matters a ton, then we'll break that down to its own episode. But the Jaguars are going to be the primary focus at a 10-4 record. A victory here knocks them out of the 1 seed, but if we lose to them, they have life to become the 1 seed, and we're still in a tight battle for this top seed as we take a look at the standings. You can see, I mean, in the AFC, it is tight. The Steelers, Dolphins, we have the tiebreaker at least over the Dolphins, but we can't drop a bunch of games down the stretch. The Steelers, I don't think we played them this year, so we don't have any sort of tiebreaker there. So it matters how we do down the stretch. At least we clinch the playoff spot. That's all I care about. I'll take it though. The Raiders finish off this episode 12-2. 3 games to go. They're going to be important down the stretch, guys. I'll be out with this episode soon. We're going to be in the midst of our Carousel or Team Builder Dynasty. We haven't heard anything about Team Builder as of me recording this, and I'm starting to get pretty concerned that, if we don't hear anything or it's post-launch, I'm going to end up having to go ahead and do a Carousel Dynasty because I want to get Dynasty onto the channel. But either way, it doesn't matter. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. We'll be out with more Raiders soon as we're going to finish off this season. Have a great day. I'm out.